Action stations: 30% of cases in London are Omicron. An emergency Cobra meeting was presented with deeply concerning data about Omicron tonight, Michael Gove has warned. The top minister said the super strain accounts for 30% of all cases in London and opened the door to fresh restrictions to stem the rising tide. Scrambling to stave off a winter surge and is begging Brits to get their boosters as the Sun's Jabs Army campaign marshals its recruits. Following an urgent gathering of devolved leaders, Mr. Gove said the situation with Omicron was alarming. Hinting at possible future restrictions, he said, "We need to keep everything under review. We recognize the importance of balancing people's abilities to get on with their lives, with the need to protect them against this virus. But action is absolutely required, and as new data comes in we will consider what action we do require to take in the face of that data." It came after the Scottish First Minister tightened rules to stem the spread of the mutation ripping across Britain, blowing a hole in hopes of a normal Christmas. In a grim warning, Nicola Sturgeon said, "To be blunt, because of the much greater and faster transmissibility of this new variant, we may be facing, indeed we may be starting to experience, a potential tsunami of infections." At a gloomy press conference, Ms. Sturgeon announced entire households of close contacts would have to isolate even if they haven't got COVID. Along with Wales' Mark Trackford, and Northern Ireland's Paul Givan, she requested a Cobra meeting and more COVID cash last month was but refused. Westminster's decision to convene the meeting comes after Omicron started spreading like wildfire. Scientists think there could be as many as 10,000 cases of Omicron, which has a doubling rate of every 2.5 to 3 days. Ms. Sturgeon also refused to rule out more restrictions, sparking fears that England could be slapped with new measures stretching beyond Plan B ahead of Christmas. Downing Street today said there were no plans to go harder than restrictions announced on Wednesday for mandatory masks, working from home and vaccine passports. The PM spokesman said, "Obviously we need to keep the characteristics of this variant under review, and we would act if necessary, but there's no plans to go beyond what we set out. We have an array, already, of options available to us in terms of what measures we can take to mitigate a growth of any variant or virus." The government is even still officially urging people to press ahead with festive parties and school nativities despite the squeeze. But both the PM and Chancellor sowed confusion by cancelling their Christmas bashes. The spokesman added it was down to individuals to make a decision whether to pull the plug or not. Mr. Johnson cancelled his Christmas party as he also faces swirling questions of multiple Downing Street bashes last year when rules forbade gatherings. Business Minister Paul Scully today admitted Britain is facing a difficult few weeks with Omicron. He said, "None of us feel comfortable having to restrict people's freedoms. This is a proportionate amount of measures to give us the breathing space to work out what's happening with the Omicron variant."